Welcome to the Major League, Zach Thornton. That was kind of a rude awakening. It is Thursday, May 21st, 2026. We are still on the road for one last game in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., at Nationals Park. About to play the last game of the series versus the Washington Nationals. I am the Mets head, talking all things New York Mets with the preview of Game 50 versus the Nationals. If you enjoy my content, I ask that you please like and subscribe to the Mets Head on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. First inning, you got the first guy out, then a single, a walk, and a 3-run homer to C.J. Abrams gave the Nats a 3-0 lead early. We came back in the bottom of the second with the Vientos double, and Beatty knocked him in with a single to make it 3-1. The Nats came back in the second. Thornton got the first guy out, walked the second guy, who stole second, and Ruiz knocked him in with the single, making it 4-1. Top third, we fired back a little bit with the solo home run by Juan Soto to make it 4-2. Thornton settled in a little bit, retired them all in a row in the third and the fourth. But in the fifth, he gave up a leadoff double to Ruiz and a fly out, and Mendoza pulled them for Austin Warren. The Nats would hit up Warren in the sixth when he gave up two consecutive singles to the first two batters. A sac fly made it 5-2. Then he gave a double to Young. Then Mendoza brought in Kimbrel, who gave up a bunt, scoring another run to make it 6-2. In the eighth, with two outs, Bichette got a single, followed by not a solo home run to Juan Soto. That's the way you do it, bringing us within two. Kimbrel would come out for a third inning, get the first two outs, then he gave up a double and a homer. That was basically it. We lost 8-4. I would expect better offense out of us, seeing that we usually hit Zach Littell very hard. Soto did go 2-for-4 with 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, bringing his average to 299. Bichette, Vientos, and Beatty and Ewing all had hits, but just the one. Melendez went 0-for-3. It's well past time to move him down in the lineup, or even bench him so he could be the pinch hitter rather than the pinch hit for. I mean, I can see still starting him against righties, but definitely at the bottom of the lineup. Morabito pinch hit for him late in the game. Now, if you notice, he changed his number to 55. I would assume out of respect for Gary Carter. That's a good way to ingratiate yourself with the fans. Make sure that you respect the history of the team. Apparently, he said he didn't even pick it. That's what they gave him. And I think the Mets staff should know better than to do that. Decent offense, but not great pitching. Thornton pitched 4 1/3. Gave up 4 runs on 4 hits and 2 walks with 3 strikeouts. Warren pitched 1 inning, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits raising his ERA to 1.72. And then Kimbrel finished it up with 2 2/3, giving up 2 runs on 2 hits, raising his ERA to 6. But the Nationals had better pitching. I was glad to see that Mendoza did not use Myers or even Brasban so that they could pitch today with Peterson expected to get the bulk. Peterson definitely should not start the game. His numbers as a starter are horrible, and his numbers against Washington are bad. So if he decides to start him, that is a great mistake, and he's looking to lose 3 in a row. We are now 21-28, back to 7 games under 500. Last place in the NL East, back to 12.5 games behind Atlanta, who are tied with Tampa with the best record in baseball. Tampa does have 2 games in hand now. We're still a half a game behind Miami for 4th place. We are in sole possession of the 8th worst record in baseball. That's bad. But that is the 23rd best record in baseball. That's good. Still not really good. The Nats are now 25-25, sitting exactly at 500, with the 16th best record in the major leagues. Tied for 2nd place in the NL East with the Phillies, 9.5 games behind Atlanta, but 3.5 games in front of us. We can no longer catch them in this series. On the mound for the Nats is 27-year-old right-hand pitcher Cade Cavalli from Tulsa, Oklahoma. He is 6'4", 223 pounds. Chosen 22nd overall by Washington in 2020. Spencer Torkelson was selected first by Detroit. Garrett Crochet was selected by Boston, 11th. We took PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong, 19th overall, and then traded him in 2021 for Javier Baez at the trading deadline after Lindor had gotten injured. Cavalli pitched in 2022, but then had to get Tommy John surgery. He pitched 1 game. He got the loss, and his ERA was 14.54. But he had 6 strikeouts in 4 innings pitched. Then it wasn't until last year that he returned. He pitched 10 games last year. He was 3-1 with a 4.25 ERA, with 40 strikeouts in 48 innings pitched. This year, he's pitched 10 games as well. He's 2-2 with a 4.05 ERA and 52 strikeouts in 46 innings. You can see he's doing a bit better this year. He pitched against us on April 29th. He got the win. He pitched 6 innings. He gave up 2 runs on 8 hits and 2 walks with 10 strikeouts. The current roster of New York Mets is batting .435 against Cade Cavalli. 10 hits and 23 at-bats with 2 walks and a home run. And at over 1,000 OPS. Bichette's 1 for 3 against them. Melendez 1 for 2. Semien 2 for 3. And Juan Soto is 4 for 5 with a double and a homer against him. Batting .800. My ideal lineup for the Mets kind of combined with what they've already been doing, but would be to lead off Carson Bench just because he's been doing so well, then Bichette, and then Soto. Soto is 4 for 5 against Cavalli with a double and a homer. Vientos batting fourth at first base. Then I would bat Beatty fifth, but I prefer Beatty batting fifth over Melendez because they're probably going to pinch hit for Melendez, where Beatty will stay in. I do think that Carson Bench would be a better fit batting fifth, moving Beatty down to seventh, and Ewing up to number one. But again, with Bench doing so well in the leadoff spot, I don't want to move him, at least until Lindor comes back. Batting sixth should be Semien, 2 for 3 against Cavalli. Then I'd probably bat Melendez seventh or Ewing. Either way, the two of them need to be near the bottom of the lineup, especially Melendez, because they're most likely going to pinch hit for him. And I don't like what they did last night, batting him fifth. I don't want to bat a guy fifth that you're going to keep looking to replace. Then I was going to say Singer batting eighth, but he played last night, so Turen should play today, and then Ewing batting ninth. And, even thinking about it, maybe I'd switch Melendez and Ewing back. Melendez ninth. Because it's very likely you will pinch it for him. You don't want to take Ewing out of the game. So I bet Melendez ninth, Ewing seventh. On the mound for the Mets, or at least as the bulk pitcher, should be 30-year-old left-hand pitcher David Peterson. From Denver, Colorado. He is 6'6", 240 pounds. Drafted by the Mets, 20th overall in 2017. Royce Lewis was selected first. Mackenzie Gore was third. Helio Ramos was 19th. Then Peterson was 20th. Brent Rooker was selected 35th overall. MJ Melendez was 52nd. And Mark Vientos was 59th. This is Peterson's 7th year in the majors. Up until this year, he pitched in 131 games with 37 and 30. With a 4.12 ERA and 614 strikeouts and 622 innings. Last year, he pitched in 30 games. He was 9 and 6. With a 4.22 ERA and 150 strikeouts and 168 innings. His first half, he had a 3.06 ERA. In the second half, he had a 6.34. This year, Peterson has pitched in 10 games and started half of them. He is 2 and 4 with a 5.40 ERA and 46 strikeouts in 43 innings. But his splits are so opposite each other. This year, as a starting pitcher, he has an 8.10 ERA. But as a relief pitcher, he has a 2.25 ERA. And is why, most of the time, Peterson should piggyback off of someone. And I think the best option to piggyback off of is Tobias Myers. Because, in a way, Myers really could be one of our starters. He can pitch more innings than the other guys. And he's been a starter before, and he's had the most success as a starter. More than Braziman or Warren. So I hope to see Tobias Myers start, but I think he played the other day, so we probably won't. So most likely you'll see Brazoban again. The current Nationals roster is batting .278 versus Peterson. 27 hits and 97 at bats with 7 walks, no home runs, and a .659 OPS. It looks like Abrams does not do well against him, but Luis Garcia Jr. does. He seems to be hitting well against most Mets. All right, Metsies. Let's tie this series up before we fly to Miami. Let's go, Mets go. Until next time, I'm Juan Gan.